The leader of opposition, Mathias Mpuuga, has utilized the Tuesday afternoon session to present a rejoinder to the earlier statement presented last week by David Muhoozi, Minister of State for Internal Affairs, on the alleged disappearances of 18 persons.
It is an obligation of states to establish effective facilities and procedures to investigate killings and cases of missing or disappeared persons in circumstances that may involve violation of the right to life.
Mpuuga described the statement by Minister Muhoozi as a defensive approach, yet the victims and their respective families seem rejected.
The victims continue reeling and harrowing in pain, despair, agony, and anguish. Clearly, if we continue with this lethargic approach, we will not get any answer from this numb and unresponsive government.
So is the leader of opposition in order to call this government numb and unresponsive?
This team is not numb.
Right, Honourable Speaker.
Use another word, not numb.
Right, Honourable Speaker.
But the response of Lop Mpuuga got the attention of members who could not determine whether the latter was making a reply or a rejoinder.
So could you guide, Madam Speaker, that the leader of opposition restricts himself to respond to what the Minister of Internal Affairs presented on this floor? But when you start saying the Attorney General was in Geneva and so forth, you're on a fishing expedition. So we want your guidance over that matter.
The law.
Fox, is there a difference between a reply and a rejoinder?
Yes, Right Honourable Speaker.
Because what he's talking about is a reply.
I can confirm, Right Honourable Speaker, that many a member did not read the Minister's statement. In fact, the subtitles I am offering in my rejoinder are picked from the Minister's statement. I can confirm they did not read it.
Last week, Minister David Muhoozi's statement in Parliament read that Uganda Police Force faced several challenges while conducting investigations into the alleged missing persons as raised by the LOP, Mathias Mpuuga. Muhoozi says the next of kin of the reported missing persons did not cooperate with the police investigators and most alleged disappearances were never reported to police. But Lop Mpuuga accordingly presented attachments to counter government response.
And we must agree. The General Muhoozi stated that we are alive, we are human. Being a minister does not detach us from the populace.
True.
Being ministers or being in the government does not mean that we are blind to the suffering of other people. So we should not be cast out as we are insensitive, numb, or...
Mpuuga has 4 fresh demands which could resolve the stalemate. First, Lop wants government to unconditionally release the political prisoners.
He has tricked this house to provide to demand for unconditional release, which is not in the power of this house, which I don't agree with him.
But the House, under the guidance of the Deputy Attorney General, Jackson Kafuzi, is interested in whether there are people in detention without trial.
But we shall go beyond the list they present because we do not know its authenticity or not. But we believe there might be other people in the system.
No, he's asking on the timeline.
If the leader of opposition can undertake that he can work with the families to make sure they provide information, because most of them, they were saying, we want clearance from our party. That's the concern the Human Rights Commission was raising.
Lop Mpuuga also wants government to formulate a Judicial Commission of Inquiry to investigate the allegations. This, however, delayed the debate. Government did not find the justification for this. The Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among, decided that the matter be taken up by the Uganda Human Rights Commission and asked for a separate meeting with Lop, Mpuuga, government, and the Human Rights Commission.
If the institutions of this government are not working, then we will send these institutions back to the sender. Because you cannot say that the chairperson has a problem. How? If she's not working, let's get her out. We have the powers.
Mpuuga proposed for a select committee to investigate the claimed cases of rape, defilement, destruction of property, murders, unjustified arrests, and illegal closure of many landing sites. But Speaker Anita Among tasked both the Parliament's Committee on Internal Affairs and Human Rights to investigate.
The general understanding is that probably they are not keen, and therefore the House would consider to selectively choose from within itself a team to consider this matter. Right, Honourable Speaker, that was the premise for that prayer.
My brother Lob does not have all that trust in human rights alone. We can have two committees. We have always got very good results when we combine committees. We can get a Committee of Internal Affairs together with human rights, and they will handle that.
Could Parliament's pronouncement and any other similar sessions relate to allegations of human rights abuse in Uganda?
It is the right of any aggrieved person to invoke the many remedies under the law if they are not sufficiently convinced by what government does, like in this instance, our colleagues on the other side. But I want to pledge that we shall continue to fulfill our obligation to address misconduct within law enforcement and security agencies, be they related to some of the hanging issues here or others that may arise.
Daniel Mugoya, Shamim Naiga, UBC News.